Hey everybody, Spider V13 here again. Last video of the weekend before I go back into work rotation. Okay, the catchphrase that's being thrown around is the Great Reset. And what does that mean and how does it affect us? On one of my previous videos, I'd mentioned by doing some research that the total combined world debt is well over $5 quadrillion. Yes, $5 quadrillion. Try to wrap your brain around that kind of money. It's just, I can't fathom it. And let's just take a look at just the debt of the United States, our country, which realistically, between government debt and personal debt, we're tipping the scales at what the analysts say just a tad over $80 trillion. It's a lot of money. $80 trillion. It's because this country has spent probably the last 30 plus years living on credit. We're a credit society. One of the things that I was thinking about a few days ago, and I talked to another prepper friend of mine here locally, is let's go back to 2007 to 2009 and that economic crisis in which Lehman Brothers completely bellied up and took out a lot of companies with it. A lot of companies just bellied up, floated to the top of the tank. And what did our government do? Fired up the printing presses and bailed them all out. And in the end, all that debt was simply levied against the American citizens. At the same token, I firmly believe that psychologically it set the tone all the way up until the beginning of this year, which was simply don't worry about it, just charge, go out, get everything you want, spend, rack up credit, and don't worry about it, because if you belly up, somebody will run to your rescue, pay it all off, and then you can start the cycle all over again. That's what I see in this country. I have a neighbor that lives 3 doors down that about a year and a half ago, I watched this guy just start spending all kinds of money. Brand new monster 4-wheel drive pickup, brand new Denali for his wife, a brand new 30-foot camper toy hauler, 4 brand spanking new 4-seater Razors, and the guy's kind of running a little general contracting business and doing, somewhat good. But I'm watching this, and I know the guy is floating it all in credit at the time. And I talked to him about it, and I expressed to him about the importance of, having a nest egg, having a little bit of gold and silver stashed, having, food and supplies stored in your house for some type of emergency. And the guy scoffed at me. Well, what has happened to him this year was the big old 4-wheel drive truck got repossessed. The wife's new Denali got repossessed. The trailer, camper trailer, toy hauler, that got repossessed. So I watched the repo guys those 3 times. The 4 brand new 4-seater Razors, he had to unload those at a substantial loss and still has the credit levied against him, the loans. And this morning, I decided to take off early and go to the grocery store. Going down the street, I happened to glance over, and yeah, lo and behold, there's paperwork taped to his front door. And that's pretty much, and we all know what that was. That's just the bank notifying them that they got to get out, that they're going to lose the house. Over the past year, this guy could have not played the credit bubble and given into impulse and I want, and racked up all this debt. He could probably, at this point, still hold on to his house. And I've seen a lot of Americans do this, just living right on the financial edge. Charge, credit. Boy, that is a harsh lifestyle to live, to rack up an enormous amount of credit against yourself and then have to pay it off, especially with high interest rates on toys, Razors, campers. Interest rates on just about everything are pretty stiff. Unless you're cruising with a 900 on your credit score, any credit card or toy financing comes with some stiff interest. And where I really started to take note on a lot of this, and I'm not a person without compassion, but let's roll back a couple of months ago when it was big news down in Texas, in the metropolitan areas, these long, extensive car food lines in which people were sitting in their cars for hours on end to get a little bit of food handout. And I watched a lot of these videos and news reports. The one thing I did notice is all the videos and news reports I watched, at least 97% of the vehicles were practically brand new. Nice four-wheel drive pickups with lift kits and big old tires and rims and Audis and what is that Honda minivan that's high-end? The Odyssey. And I got to thinking to myself, some of these people, through just life circumstances, probably got hit hard financially because of the Kool-Aid 91, with not living on a credit bubble, and they need to get some help. I would firmly believe that the bulk of these people in these car food lines basically were just so strung out on credit that they had to go get a handout. Henceforth, it's very important finishing this year and going into early next year that you take some time and look at your finances. Take a look at where your money's going out. Take a look at what you've got so far as a nest egg, emergency fund. More importantly, what do you have in your house? If we get any kind of another Kool-Aid 91 lockdown, or if Pres-T instigates the Insurrection Act or military martial law going into next month and things get shut down way more than they did this year, are you going to be able to take care of yourself? So I'm not a financial advisor by any means, but it all boils down to common sense. Don't live on credit. I know a lot of you out there are having to live on credit because of just unrealistic circumstances. And I could go down the list of those, but I won't. So I'm not without compassion. And yes, I am a person that prays to Jesus, and I pray for the whole human family every single night. And I personally would like to see every person on this planet be prosperous, but have stuff paid off. And if you're hearing this video and listening to this message, if you can, play it smart. Only keep enough cash in the bank to cover your bills. If you have the ability to start spending a little bit of your income beyond your prepping needs, try to get silver rounds. You can go to providentmetals.com or appmix.com. You can still pick up silver rounds for roughly anywhere from, let's say, 20, depending on spot price when you go to those websites. I think silver's roughly finished last week's trades roughly at about $25.50 an ounce. So if you can, try to get a little bit of precious metals. And if you can, gold. You hear a lot of people out there, oh yeah, you got to buy gold. Well, for us working class people, throwing down $2,000+ for a single ounce of gold, that is pretty damn stiff. And when it comes time to bartering with your gold and silver, you want to buy gold, or I would suggest to buy gold in grams. You can pick up a gram of gold for anywhere from like $78 to $85 a gram, and that's a hell of a lot easier to barter with than a full-blown ounce coin. So there's my thoughts on the Great Reset. Do I believe it's coming? Yes. Do I believe it's coming soon? It's hard to say. Is it going to be a harsh reality for a lot of people in this world, not only the American citizens? Yes. So now's the time. Evaluate your life. Determine what your priorities are. If you have kids, look at your kids and think, okay, if something happens, can I feed them? Can I put vitamins in them? Am I going to have water when they're thirsty? Critical, important stuff like that. We're at a turning point in this country. To hell with trying to look good outside of your house and have all these material items, because at the end of the day, whatever you paid for it, you've already taken a 70% loss, and then you'll take another 20% loss against that when you go to liquidate it in desperation. All right, well, that's it for the videos this weekend, and for the 5 or 6 people that watch my videos, thank you for your support. Okay, be safe, stay aware, but most importantly, be prepared. I'm out.